Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 is the highly anticipated sequel to the great 2014 Guardians of the Galaxy, and is the continuation of the MCU. And in this movie, the Guardians are all friends now. They've battled villains in the first movie and all that fun stuff, and they've all come together. They're all a unit now, and now they're kind of like the crew from Firefly, essentially. They're tasked to go do things for money and such. And they do come across Kurt Russell, and Kurt Russell plays Peter Quill's father in this movie. And this movie is more about Peter Quill's lineage, his heritage, where he comes from, how he interacts with his dad, while the other teammates essentially deal with their own stuff. And that's essentially our movie. A movie that surprisingly is as good as the first, I think at least. That's a very unpopular opinion, but it's fine. That's fine. It's probably because I managed my expectations going into this. A lot of people who saw this movie early, I did not do that, because they didn't know what to think. They didn't have reviews to influence what they were thinking going in. I'm glad I actually did have the reviews, because if I did not have those reviews that were somewhat negative, going in, my mindset would have been I would have been pumped out of my mind. I would have been like, holy crap. And I probably would have been disappointed, because this is a much smaller movie. It's much smaller in scale, I mean. So I would have been expecting something like grander, more amazing, just absolutely spectacular. And it is a really solid superhero spectacle. But it's more of a personal story with all these different characters. All these different characters have their own things to go through. Yondu gets a lot more screen time in this movie. I like Michael Rooker as Yondu. The cast all work perfectly together. I love these characters. Their charm is retained. The humor is retained. It's a very funny movie, and it adds a lot of good drama to the movie. It has a great balance. The action's very solid when it's there. I actually think the action's better than the first. The soundtrack's not quite as good as the first, but it's a good soundtrack. Good songs in the movie. The villains in the movie, there are multiple villains in this movie. A couple of them work okay. Well, one of them works okay, I guess. Yeah, one of the villains work okay, and then the other villains don't really have much of a purpose. They do set them up for a purpose in future films, but in this movie they didn't have much of a purpose, and it has a couple little pacing issues here and there. But those are really my only qualms with the movie. I think Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 is a great companion piece to the first movie, just as good. I think, at least. I can't wait to see these characters back again. Everyone's a lot of fun in this movie. I'm going to give Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 an A-. It's not a perfect movie, but I do love the movie for what it is. It is a great sequel. Manage your expectations. I tell you that now. Manage your expectations. Don't go into this thinking you're through the roof. Don't overhype yourself, because you probably will be disappointed. Because this is a much smaller movie, as I said. It's a great movie, but it's just a much smaller one. So yeah, that's my review for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll have my review for Alien Covenant up probably Wednesday. But yeah, so peace.